wait on those things going live, which should be any second. Oh, wow. Quick tonight. Okay. So now we'll just give that a minute before I can start the messaging thing, whatever social stream here. Okay. All right. Let's just see how we do here. Those both show live. So let's go to live chat and go to here and go to live chat. And, oh yeah, I have to start the stream. I have to start the social stream. Okay, so I would say select live source. Let's see if it's there. It is. Activate. Let's go to live. It still doesn't show the window properly, but I don't really care. Are any of these live? No. Hold on. Why does that one not show up yet? Ah, there it is. Activate. Okay. Oh, wait. No, I activated two different ones. Okay, so let's test. Go to live chat, and let me do a test one. Okay, see if I hear the sound. Oh, I didn't hit the button. Sorry. My fault. My fault. I have to actually hit the button saying that. And I think it makes a sound. Hold on. I don't hear anything. Why am I not hearing anything? I should be on the right selector. I have my sound on. Let me make sure the social stream thing is visible, which it isn't, so hold on. That's, is it this? I don't think it's that. I think it's this? Nope, that's the actual window. Where is, hold on, why is it not showing? Hold on, did I actually, oh, I didn't click the thing, I didn't click the thing properly. Okay, so let's go down to there. There we go. Okay, so now you can see it. Let's do a test one repeat. Why didn't I hear anything? It should see that. Did it not? Oh, there it is. Okay, just took a minute. That's okay. All right, so I can go ahead and close this down. We're good there. And now we'll do test two, and this should be from a different thing. Test two. Okay. And there it is. So we can go ahead and close that out. And then we'll do a quick test three for Twitch. And we are successful. Although yet again, it is not respecting the amount of time that I'm telling it before messages go away. So I'm going to have to figure out why that happens. Not that it's a huge deal, but it's really annoying because I selected the settings properly. So that's irritating. But we won't worry about that right now. We're just going to enjoy the fact that this is working at all. Would it be application capture? I don't think it's right. No, it's not that. It's a window capture. And then it is let's view, not that one. How about that one? Where's the, why is it not showing the iPad? That's weird. It was working a second ago. Same Wi-Fi connection. Yeah, it's on the same Wi-Fi connection. Hold on, let me just turn this off, turn it back on, give it a minute, because of course everything else worked relatively, but of course this doesn't. There's always got to be something. All right, let's just close this program out because it's not working. And then we'll go back to it and give it a second to start up. And, well, what's this? Stop. You said it wasn't working to begin with. Jeez, I tell you. All right, so let's say, where is it? That's connecting to the right one. Let me see. Yeah, no, it's right. It's on. They're on the same thing. I don't know what this thing is talking about. So let's go ahead and swipe it out. I mean, without this, you can't see the actual iPad, so there's really no point. So, all right, let's do this. Actually, wait a minute. Scan. Okay, scan. Do that. Wait, is that that? Here it is. There we go. Start. Okay. There it is. I don't know why that didn't work the first time, but it's working now, so I just have to make sure I'm sharing the right window. I bet you. What? I discard because I didn't even get it right. Let's view window. There it is. Hey, all right, finally, let's get going. Bang. Unbelievable, I tell you. Okay, I'm gonna get a sip of water while this is going. Where are we at? 5 minutes. Unbelievable. And I'd done all this stuff beforehand. Incredible. Wow, was I thirsty. Okay, so what we're doing here is, hold on a minute. Oh, yeah, all the emails. I actually remember to silence my phone. So, delete, delete, delete. I just realized I did not post. The one thing I forgot to do was post about this on Blue Sky. Blue Sky, Blue Sky. I mean, seriously, I was... You know what? Screw it. I don't care. Blue Sky signed me out. You know what? Sorry, everybody on Blue Sky. Oh, you know what? It'll take me 2 seconds. Why not? I'm already 5 minutes in. I'm just being petulant now. What's the difference? I can take 2 seconds. But I don't know why Blue Sky randomly logs me out when I literally was just in there. I've authenticated fairly recently, so I don't know. There's no timer as far as I know that's doing this. It just seems to randomly decide to time out, and I've seen other people complain, so no, it's just not just me. But the other thing that's frustrating is you can't just sign back in. You have to sign in. It sends you an email with a code, which I appreciate to a degree, but I'd rather it just use my authenticator. And it does not. For some reason, it wants to do its own thing. So now I have to go back again and recopy all the text that I had copied because it got blown away because, of course, I had to copy the password for Blue Sky because, like a smart person, I don't use the same password for everything. Therefore, I need a password manager. All right, and uploading. It's going to be 10 minutes before I even start. Okay, here we go. All right. Unreal. It's just amazing. Every time. I'm not kidding. Before I even started the stream, I posted everywhere because I went, okay, I'll post everywhere and I'll be up and running within a minute or two. No. I don't know why I even thought that. Stupid. So, you may remember that I'm working on... Where is it? I'm working on... Here. I cannot remember the name of this character now. This character from Welsh folklore that is part of a wassailing ceremony. And wassail, the actual drink, has citrus fruit in it. So I'm trying to make this citrus fruit, and you see how there's these patterns that are in the citrus? That's what I'm trying to recreate. So you see I did all these scribbles, and now I'm kind of following the scribbles. I don't remember if I did... I don't think I got this far last time. I think I started the citrus thing, but I hadn't really gone anywhere. So now I'm doing the actual citrus bits inside of the fruit itself. So that's where we are. So let me see. I don't care about top fans. How do I get out of this? Oh no. No, I don't care. Ugh. I accidentally clicked on something and I can't get out of it now. I don't know how to get out of this. Oh man, really? Oh, there we go. Back to live chat. I just want to see the amount of people. I don't care about the top there participants. That's what I was trying to get to. I'm just making sure that this thing is actually... I want to watch, because if people show up, I want to make sure I'm not paying attention to them. I want to ensure that I am paying attention to them. That's what I meant to say with that terrible grammar just now. Okay, there. Now I've got all my windows up. I can see everything. Wait, except for that. And now I can see... Okay. Users in chat. Got it. I have everything I need. All right, back to it. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm basically creating these little bits that are going to be in between. So that is the purpose of this. So as you... Whoop, am I on the right layer? I certainly am not. There it is. That's the right layer. So yeah, I'm just creating these... Whoa! Okay, where's the... Oh, I think I made this line bigger. Was it 3? No, it's not 3. It's probably a 5. Let's say 5. 5. 5 looks right. Anyway, so that's what this is. So I'm just doing these, not to any specific pattern really, because the fruit itself doesn't seem to have a specific pattern if you look at it. I mean, it's just kind of all over the place. So I'm trying to mimic that as best I can, which is not easy because randomization is just not something that's really built into my system very smoothly, but you do what you can. So we're just going through and just creating these little bits and bobs of these seeds or whatever they are. A little bit here like that. And I have to kind of freeform this stuff to some degree because I don't want to repeat all my patterns. Otherwise, it's not going to look organic. It's going to look like somebody just repeated a pattern, which I'm not trying to do. So there we go. Well, I guess we're officially in fall now, aren't we? I didn't realize Labor Day, I don't know anything about calendars. I'm so bad with all this stuff. But I guess September, or Labor Day, is considered the first day of fall. So now we're in fall. So my wife and I have just concluded our summer film festival, only to now immediately jump into our fall film festival. So Fall Fest, which means I'm going to have to create a new movie ticket for our viewing, because I print little movie tickets when we do our movies. So I will be doing that. I will debut that. Debut that! Oh man, do I sound like a snob. I will debut that over on Instagram. So if you're so inclined, I don't care about Instagram at all, so this is really not a very good plug for my Instagram feed, but I do technically have an Instagram. It is under Ozone Art Foundry. I will be honest, I post almost nothing to it because I don't like Instagram. But it is a good place to post things like that for people who follow me so that they can see it, because people, for some reason, are interested. I felt a weird spot. Hold on. I felt like a weird... Ah, there it is. There's something on my screen, I think. Let me look. I don't really see anything, but it definitely felt like the pen was catching on something. Hold on. And it's not the pencil tip because it's only doing it right there. Right there. What is there? God, I don't see anything. Well, I shouldn't say that. Hold on. Sorry. I'm not trying. I mean, nobody's in the chat in this thing now, so it's not a big deal, but hold on a minute. Let me see if there's something there. I can wipe it off. It's not the pencil tip, the Apple Pencil tip, because if it was, it would do it everywhere. All right, let me just see if that got it. Yeah, I think I got it. Okay. I was gonna say if it was the tip, it should do it over and over repeatedly, which it was not. Okay, so let me look at my little reference thing here. Yeah, see how random all this stuff is? Some of them are really wide and big, some of them aren't. But I guess that's good for me because it means I don't really have to worry about observing any kind of pattern. I just do whatever I kind of feel like and it'll work. So I'm going to just pick random stuff to do. I mean, I'm not going to have sharp points because that wouldn't occur. You wouldn't get that in nature. You wouldn't have those types of sharp points. Not truly sharp points. There are things that are, sharpish, but not truly sharp points. So, yeah. And yeah, I'm doing the stream on a Wednesday instead of Monday because Monday was Labor Day. So, my wife and I had off from work. We did our movie on Monday. What did we watch on Monday? We watched Voyage of the Rock Aliens, also known as Let's Dance Tonight, also known as When the Rains Begin to Fall. I don't know why the movie has 3 titles, but it does. I think it's fair to say my wife is not quite as big a fan of that movie as I am. She didn't dislike it. She didn't hate it. But at the end, she said, well, that certainly was a movie, which is accurate. It's not a very good movie. It's attempting to be a new wave version of Rocky Horror. And the reality is, the only thing that's ever going to be Rocky Horror is Rocky Horror because you can't recreate that now. It was a product of its time, of the way that movies were made, of the way that it was received or not well received in some ways. Audiences were far different. It's simply not a recreatable phenomenon. You're not going to... People have tried it. There have been attempts at it. Probably the most recent one that most people would know about was the chicken jockey thing with Minecraft. But even that wasn't really anything. It wasn't what Rocky Horror was. And I say this as somebody who's not... I respect Rocky Horror a lot. I love that it exists. I myself am not the biggest fan of it. I rewatched it not too long ago. I enjoyed it. I would watch it again. But it's not like I'm really a Rocky Horror fan. Like, I don't know the lyrics. My wife does. I don't know all the songs. My wife does. I would, never go to a thing and do the shadow cast thing where you're kind of acting things out. Now, I may actually, for our anniversary, I may just go ahead, bite the bullet, and go. But, hey, Heroes Forever, welcome to the stream. Happy Wednesday. But anyway, Voyage of the Rock Aliens was a attempt to do a new wave Rocky Horror, and it's just not that good. It has some catchy songs, but it's a very, very weirdly constructed movie. It's not particularly well edited. It can be funny at times, but it's trying to be too many things. That's the reality. It's just trying to do too many things at once. And so it doesn't really work. It's not terrible. It's entertaining. I don't think she'll ever watch it again. That's fine. I don't have any issues with that. I don't think it's one that she would want to revisit. I will from time to time because I do think it has its charm. But having said that, I can absolutely see why some people would just not get it, because it does have its problems. It has some weird storytelling mechanics too. It really does just pinball all over the place in what it's trying to be. Which you can do. You can do that. But it's not easy. It is not easy. You know what I'm coming to realize? Some of these are way too big. These have to be really small. So I'm going to have to erase most of the ones over here because these are all wrong. All wrong. Not all of them, but most of them. Actually, I'm just going to erase them all. I'm just going to do this one entirely over. Not those. Those are okay down there. And actually that one's okay. That one there is okay. So we'll leave that, but all these bigger ones have got to go. Got to go. Yeah. Because I'm just looking at them like, yeah, none of these things are that big. That's okay. That happens. Not the worst thing in the world. This is not a stream where we're concerned about excellence and accuracy and getting it all right the first time. It's okay. Unbelievable. Hold on. Sorry. No. I'm not talking about animation in any way. I love animation, but I'm really bad at it. No. What? Okay, I don't even know what that is. All right. That's what I get for looking at my phone during a stream. No, Heroes Forever. I was talking, if you mean my comments about storytelling, that type of thing. No, I was talking about a movie from 1984 called Voyage of the Rock Aliens. Does that movie have any animation in it? Hold on, let me think about this. No, does it? No, I don't think it does. That's the one thing that movie doesn't have. It's got stop motion, it's got miniatures, it's got a chainsaw type killer who really kind of isn't. It has a lot of things. The one thing I don't think it has is actual animation. No, it doesn't. Now I'm thinking of the whole movie in my head. And that's the one thing it doesn't have. It does not have any animation. I don't think it needed it because that movie's already got too much stuff going on. Animation certainly wouldn't have made it any less cluttered. Also, I don't know if anybody involved in the production really could do any good animation. So, animation when done poorly is probably one of the worst things. Oh, that's okay. No. No need to apologize. You came in, I'm in the middle of rambling. I don't restart what I'm talking about, which is probably not a good idea. I probably should kind of catch people up if they join mid me talking, because how would you know what I was even talking about? That's really not fair to you. So you shouldn't be apologizing. I should be apologizing because there was no one here and I was just ranting about a movie, and then you showed up and I didn't bother to say, oh, hey, welcome. Just so you know what I'm sitting here going on and on and on about is this movie. No, instead you're sitting here and you don't know what I'm saying. This is why I will never be a professional streamer of any kind, because I don't know what I'm doing. I really don't. I just jump on here and draw things for a while and just kind of say random stuff for a while. So you do not need to apologize at all. I'm surprised you didn't say, Bozo, what are you talking about? Because you certainly would have been entitled to, since I didn't bother to explain it. How would you ever know? Although I have to say, I saw a stream earlier. I won't name any names, but I happened on a stream from somebody who I've seen a couple of videos recently. And this person did one of the more bizarre live streams I've ever seen. I actually respect the confidence to do such a weird stream. And based on the reactions of people who were randomly showing up, I was not the only one who thought it was off the beaten path. Again, I'm going to be very vague because I don't like to talk badly about anybody. And I can't say it was a bad stream. I mean, there were a lot of people watching it, so I watched it for about 10 minutes and I thought, this is a little strange. And I don't know where it's going, and I don't know if I want to be here for where it may end up. So that was kind of the end for me. But, like I said, somebody with far more confidence in what they were doing than I have. And had a pretty decent audience, so who am I? Who am I to criticize? Nobody. Nobody. I don't know if this is going to work. I really don't. There is something so specific about this patterning. And yet it's so random that's the trick, is trying to capture that correctly. Now, maybe once I have all these little bits and bobs in, it's going to look a lot better. As it is right now, I don't know. It looks weird to me, but it's not like the actual fruit doesn't look weird to me too. So we'll see. But I will admit, I probably... All right, 22 minutes in. Oh, boy. It'll probably be a short stream tonight. I gotta admit, I was running all over the place today. Literally, I mean walking. What do I do? Boy, that's a great question. My title is Network Engineer, which really doesn't mean anything. To be honest, it doesn't mean anything. Because some days, or some weeks, I guess I should say, some weeks it doesn't feel like I do much of anything. And then in days like today where I walked for 12,100 steps because I was running all over the place doing different things. Yeah, network engineering is kind of a catch-all thing. It doesn't really mean anything. It means that if they need you to, I don't know, find out why the Wi-Fi is slow in this building, you go and you figure that out. Or if they need you to connect a Ethernet hardwire because somebody has a printer that has to be not on wireless for whatever reason, then that's what you do. Or if there's a login page for something isn't functioning, you have to figure out why. Is it the page itself? Is it because there's something that's happening in between the person's computer and wherever that page, because many of them aren't actually stored locally anymore, someplace in the cloud? Is there a cloud service problem? It's all it is. It's just a kind of catch-all title for just about anything to do with networked computers, which is now everything. Everything. So like I said, where that once was, I think, seen as a specialty type of thing, now, because everything is interconnected and everything is networked, it doesn't mean anything anymore. I mean, maybe in some places it does. Where I am, it doesn't. Where I am, it's kind of like, okay, we just need you to do this. So go do that. Because your title is very vague. It's not really a complaint. I don't really care. It's not... I understand why it's like that. It makes sense. It's just the nature of the job itself has evolved because the nature of every single thing that we use has evolved. I mean, that's the problem, right? Is it anything that relies on a computer connection now, which is everything, you know, if it stops working even for a little while, there's lots of problems. It's very hard to find a disconnected system anymore, which I don't think is great. I think that's actually kind of a bad thing. We're becoming very dependent on these systems that we get really used to being up all the time. And then when they're down, we don't know how to function. That doesn't seem like a great thing in the long run. But I also don't think there's any getting away from it. I think it's just the way the world is now. Just a byproduct of the fact that we have integrated technology and computing devices so far into ourselves that it's hard to accept. Oh, what? Oh, sorry. See? This is why I suck at this. So what I'm doing is, you're right. See? Again, I should have caught everybody up. All right. So I've shown this before. I don't know if you were on the stream. So this character is a character based on an actual mythological creature from Welsh folklore, which has a very strange name because it's pronounced very differently than it's actually spelled. Hold on. I will tell you in a second. Let me find out. Let me see here. All right. So it is, I think it looks like, here it is. Now, I'll write this out for you because this is fascinating. So let me get this background. This character, the horse skull-headed character, the character's name is spelled like this. Oh, sorry. I forgot I'm not on a layer. I have to go to a layer. Is this layer empty? No. So let's go to a layer above this, just so I can show you what I'm talking about. Character's name is spelled like this. Okay, that you can't see that. How about this? Better. Let's zoom in. The character's name is spelled like this. Marilwyd. That's the character's name and correct spelling. Now, here's how this is pronounced. Okay. This part is pronounced Ivari Lude. That's how it's pronounced. It's spelled like this, which I would think would be Mary Lewid or Mary Wid. But it's, oh wait, you can probably hear it. Hold on, can you hear it? Oh, I'm on silent. Sorry. Hold on. Let me turn the silent thing off. You'll hear it. Here. I don't know if that picked that up. Hold on. Let me turn that way up. Hold on a second. All right, here we go. Ready? Sorry, that might have been really loud. Sorry about that. Oh, hold on. Avariloid is how that is supposed to be pronounced. And if what you're asking is how is that why, meaning how is it pronounced that way? I have no answer for you. But basically the way it's supposed to be pronounced is Avari. Well, I guess you would do it almost like this. Avariloid. Sorry, that's really bad. Hold on, you can't read. Nobody can read that. Loyd. So this word is pronounced as Avari. This is more reasonable. Lloyd. Like I can kind of see that one. That's not, this part here is not insane to me. This part is insane to me. How do you go from this to this? I don't know. I would never, if you put a laser gun to my head and said, you have to pronounce this correctly, we're going to give you 100 tries, I would never have gotten anywhere close to that. But anyway, this character, in the mythology, this character goes around with people. Hold on, let me get a drink of water. I'm really, really thirsty. Just a second. I'll explain the rest of this. You are correct. It is. So this character goes around with people. I mean, it's not literally this. It's not, it's like a horse head on a dress, on a pole. And they go around, and I think it's kind of a Christmassy type of thing in Wales. It's called wassailing. And wassailing, part of the wassailing ceremony is this drink, this punch, or whatever you want to call it that you drink. And it's made up mostly, the drink itself, of citrus fruits. So what I want to do is I want to take this citrus fruit and make it like a stained glass repeating pattern behind this character. So it would be something like just so you have an idea of what I'm going for here. So back here, you would see, there would be like the citrus would form like a circle around the character, and then inside of there would be smaller citruses, and this is kind of forming the punch bowl relatively, and then all these will be stained glass. You know what I mean? So it's going to be something. That's the idea of it. So I want to have that circle around the outside of the character. So what I'm doing on the clear, I said, turn off an alpha lock. So what I want to do here is create the citrus pattern that I'll repeat behind it. So that's what I'm doing. Yet again, sorry, I should have explained that. That's what I'm doing here, and I'm trying to recreate all these random patterns that are in here. Yeah, it kind of does, right? But it's Welsh. I have found it is really interesting, if you've never done this, to look at the different kind of mythological creatures and folklore around the globe. There's some really interesting characters. And there's been some interesting movies made about them. I remember there was one from, I want to say it was Dutch. And it was a little goblin guy character. I don't remember his name. But anyway, this little goblin, it was a very specific period of time where women who lived on farms would summon this creature, and the creature would, I think in exchange for like gold coins, if I remember correctly, would go to another farm that had cows that had a lot of milk, and it would basically drink the milk out of the cows, store it up in its belly like a big pot belly, go back to the woman who paid them, and then more or less, I mean, it wasn't really vomit, but it would regurgitate the milk into canisters so that those farms had milk even if their cows couldn't produce milk. It is the most specific creature. That's its one function, is it's meant to steal, store, and then throw up milk. That's what it does. I don't remember what it was. It's called like the Tuleberg or something like that. It's an interesting little name. Is it Tuleberg? Whoa, why did it do that? I did not want it to do that. Oh, because the mouse went over it. Hold on. Is it called the Tuleberg? I just want to see if it's Tuleberg Milk Goblin. Let me see if I find it. No, that's not what it's. It's something like that. I can't find the name of it. Anyway, sorry. It's not so scary. The movie I watched, it's not really. I mean, the movie is supposed to be a horror movie, but from what I've read, the creature. Well, yeah, I know. The creature itself, I guess, if you have no milk and you're desperate and you're thirsty, because a lot of places in olden times, milk was a primary source of like vitamins and for especially for young children. So if you're desperate, I guess you do whatever you have to. But I agree, it seems when you read the original version of it, it's more odd than scary. The creature comes off more as just a weird little thing than something frightening. But the movie that I watched, which was a very good movie because it was so odd, the creature is scarier. But he was also very easily defeated by the people he was menacing. I mean, they really didn't have to do much to get rid of him. I mean, I think they kicked him in the head or something like that, and then he just vanished. Well, he was not very powerful. Outside of his milk storage abilities, which, I guess are very powerful. But yes, there's lots of... One of the fun things is to look at the lore and mythology of countries that are different from your own, because you often find some really... I mean, if you look at a Japanese folklore and creatures, there are so many. They have such specific creatures and monsters for such specific things. There's one that I think there's one that just hangs out in bathrooms and terrorizes children who don't wash their hands. That's all it does. It's just to make you want to wash your hands. Well, sorry about that. Like I said, the milk goblin sounds a lot scarier than it is. So it shouldn't be really frightening. It's almost like it's just a little, I don't know. You know how they have DoorDash now? It's like DoorDash for milk. Back in the days when everybody had to live off farms. Just think of it as Milk Dash. The Goblin Milk Dash. That's all. Just look at it that way. You're paying for milk delivery. It's just that back then they didn't have, that was, wow, my dog is snoring so loud. I don't think you can pick that up from the mic, but you might because she is snoring loud. Anyway, sorry, I'm not trying to disturb anybody. I found that creature to be fascinating. I wasn't scared by it at all. Even the movie isn't particularly scary. They tried to make the creature scarier than it really is. It's more of an interesting movie because it's, once you realize it's based on a real thing, or what people, a real mythological creature, because it seems like something somebody would make up. It seems like something really absurd that somebody would make up. And no, in fact, it is based on a creature that, supposedly existed. I have seen no evidence that it's real. But, like I said, folklore is a funny thing. People choose to believe in interesting things. So, who am I to say it didn't exist? Maybe it did. Maybe I'm sorry, I don't remember the name. It's not Tulaberg. Oh, it's going to bug me so much if I don't get this creature's name. All right, I have to look this up. I'm sorry, I have to look it up. Hold on, because it's really just going to bug me now in case anybody's genuinely interested. So it would be, hold on. I know where I saw the movie. I saw it on the streaming service Shudder. You can't just look it up. Do I have to log in just to see what was in there? Hold on. Horror 101. I'll admit, I'm not necessarily, I like horror movies, but not really hardcore horror movies. Okay, here we go. It is called, no, I'll know it the minute I see it. It's not that. Boy, the amount of creatures that have interesting names. I just watched that movie. That movie was interesting. Let's see. It is called, oh no, is it not on there anymore? I didn't see it. Hold on. No, I wonder if they don't have it anymore. Okay, well, you know what? Folk horror. I'll look up foreign, because I know it wasn't American. Foreign folk horror movies. It is now my mission before this stream ends to find out what this creature was called. All right, let's take a look. I don't know if it's going to land on a best of list. No. Oh, The Last Wave. Wow, I wouldn't even call that a horror movie. It's just a very good movie. Is that a folk horror movie? I guess there's horrific elements, but I would never have called that. I mean, I guess. First, I would not immediately. Baby. Hey, I did. Oh, jeez. Why is this so loud? Sorry. I guess I just blew the mic out. There we go. Okay. Wow. I look like... Jeez, I look like something. I've got a cable now running to the wireless mic on the lapel. This is such a stupid setup. All right, it's working, though. It's working. All right. No, it wasn't just you. Which is... This mic must be losing its battery. Anyway, sorry, I don't know exactly when the mic went out. But I was just talking about a creature called the Tilbury. A milk-stealing demon. There is a movie, an Icelandic milk-stealing demon. That's not what this picture is. This picture is of a citrus fruit. So I'm not going to rewind all the way to how we got into this. But, actually, I don't even remember how we got into this. But anyway, the Tilbury is a sinuous, fleecy demon. Oh, boy. Is that a set of words. A sinuous, fleecy demon whose only objective was to collect milk from cows and sheep so witches could churn their own butter. Is that not the most amazing thing you've ever heard? A creature whose sole purpose was to get milk from animals so that witches could churn butter. Did you know witches churned butter? 'Cause I didn't. A woman made one of these creatures by taking the rib bone of a recently buried man's body, winding it with wool, and then placing it between her breasts. Wow. The Tilbury finally came to life after its summoner, meaning the woman, I assume, spat consecrated wine on the object several times. This is amazing. And I saw this movie a little while ago. So, wow. See? Amazing. The stuff that people come up with is just amazing. The creativity of individuals or nature or whatever deity oversees the Tilbury. I don't know what overlord runs the milk-stealing demons, but whatever it is, it made a very interesting creature that has one specific purpose. Witches need butter. Sorry, witches need milk so they can churn their butter. We must have a creature for this. No problem. Tilbury it is. Unbelievable. Like I said, movie's not bad. It's interesting. It's a fascinating piece of utterly non-American folk horror, which is why it probably doesn't have the kind of traditional horror thing to it, because it's not American, and non-American films don't have to operate with the same identical rule sets that so many American horror films have to. They don't all have to be some version of The Exorcist, or now, I guess, Paranormal Activity. They all gotta be found footage nonsense. Except for Sinners. There was something original. Which I saw that apparently there might be a sequel to that, which I'm really kind of like, oh, don't make a sequel. Let it just be its own special thing. Does everything need a sequel, man? Does everything have to have a sequel? Can't things just be good and exist on their own? Do they need sequels? Wonder if it's appeared. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. There's, you know this. There's so many specific, small scale. I think before you joined, I was talking about the yokai, the Japanese demons, and how there's a demon for everything in Japan. Everything. I'm sure sneezing without covering your mouth has a demon. Wearing sandals with no socks on a plane probably has a demon. Everything has a demon in Japan. It's amazing. You know? So, could it have appeared in The Witcher? Sure, but there's so many creatures that, you know, you can't fit them all. Although, honestly, that's kind of like the whole premise with Hellboy, right? The Hellboy comics. Hellboy just will never run out of things to run into. Some weird thing in the forest that he's walking along and suddenly this thing jumps out and goes, ah. And, you know, he has to punch it with his super stone hand. You know, there's so many creatures that you could do Hellboy stories for the rest of your life. And you'd never run out of stuff to do. Because there's so many of them. It's great. You know, I've never looked up... Hold on a minute. Sorry, this stuff bugs me when I think of it. Italian folklore creatures. Are there any? I don't ever remember hearing about it. I don't think Italians do this stuff. Oh no, look at this. Folklore in Italy. What do we have? What do we have? Folk. Wow, we have folk heroes, folk dance, and folk music. No demons? Really? There's no demons? Italians don't have folk demons? Really? Why? There is nothing about folk demons. How do we not have folk demons? What are you kidding me? We don't have demons? I mean, this is the country that has the Vatican in it, and there's no demons? Unbelievable. This is incredible. Oh, wait, Weird Italy. Hold on. Hold on, what do we have? Give me something. Hell. Okay, hell is a whole thing. Incubi and succubi. Everybody's got those. Amon. Amon is a general demon. Oh, forget it. Okay, well, we have one. We have our own sleep paralysis demon. Ugh, these are all just rip-offs. Never mind. Italians don't seem to have any original demons. If you see this and there's an original Italian demon that's something as cool as the Tilbury, please tell me. Because I can't find it. And as much as I could sit here and stream my constant searching for an Italian demon, I do actually want to bring this stream to a close pretty soon. So, let's see. Benedante. Hold on. Hold on. I'm going to look that up. Hold on. Benedante. Let's see what we got. Benedante were members of an agrarian visionary tradition in the Friuli district of northeastern Italy during the 16th and 17th centuries. The Benedante claimed to travel out of their bodies while asleep to struggle against malevolent sorcerers. Whoa! Yes, yokai is Japanese, right. It definitely is. And there's lots of them, so if you haven't ever looked them up, look them up. They're great. Look at that. Maledanti are the bad walkers in order to ensure good crops for the season. Hey, this is a good Tilbury kind of analog. Hey, good call, Artificial. That's great. Okay. Well, good. I'm glad we have something. Visionary Journeys. Ooh. Time Lifes. Visionary Journeys of Italian witch fighters. Sorcerer hunters, whatever they are. Good. Good. I was going to say, it'd really be a shame if my people couldn't come up with a good demon. Like I said, it's such a religious country. You would think there would be demons all over the place, but I guess a lot of it they just borrow from other ones. So not as much of it. Oh, that's got to be a witch. I know that word. In Italian, that word is witch. So that's got to be some kind of witch. I mean, I knew there was an Italian word for witch. I didn't know it was something special. Is it a special kind of witch? Is it a witch who makes your pizzas come out burned or underdone? Because that would be truly horrific. The Strega. Stregiera. Neo-pagan tradition similar to Wicca. While most practitioners consider Stregiera to be distinct from Wicca, some academics consider it to be a Wiccan offshoot. Author Raven Grimassi. Great name. Wow, great name. Oh, it's a pen name. Interesting. Gardnerian Wicca in San Diego. This is amazing. This person's still alive. The co-director of the Fellowship of the Pentacle. Oh, no, died in 2019. Wow. Okay. I'm going to be completely consumed by this. So, I'm not going to look at this anymore. Keep sending that stuff to me. I will look all this up, but I'm very glad that there is a thriving demonology for Italians. I didn't want us to be left out. That would have been really a shame if we could not capitalize on all the demonology that there is around. Not that I'm planning on invoking any of these things. I'm just saying it's nice to know that we're included. Because I couldn't think of any... I never heard about any of this stuff growing up. Will you draw a circle after a circle until you finish? Will you draw a circle after a circle until you finish? Oh, you mean this? Drawing these things? Oh yeah, I'm going to draw every one of these if that's what you mean. Individually. Yeah, I'm going to draw these over and over and over. That's how this is going to go. So it's going to take a while. If that's what you're asking me, yes. I don't automate any of this. I do this all by hand. So as you can imagine, it's going to take a while. But that's how it's going to go. That's how I do things. It's just my... Oh, wait. I can't... That dark area is where it's going to stop. So let's do that. Yeah, if that's what you're asking me, is if I'm going to just keep drawing these until this whole thing is filled, the answer is yes. Now, I could technically copy or duplicate this and just rotate it, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to draw these all by hand because there is something, I don't know, my brain feels like doing it by hand like this is somehow the right way to do it. I'm not saying that's smart. I'm not saying everybody should do that. I'm just saying that's how I'm going to do it. So if that's what your question is, the answer is yes. These will all be drawn like this until every bit of this thing is filled up so it looks like that. Sort of. Yeah. That is the plan. Absolutely correct. Even though, yeah, like I said, I could probably make this a lot easier by just replicating things. But I'm not going to, because I just don't work that way. For some reason. Let's see here. Don't you think it will take a long time? Oh, no, it will. It will take a long time. Well, you know what? It won't. It won't take me that long. Once I get to a certain point, it'll go a lot faster. But I kind of just... I mean, I don't disagree with you. It is going to take a lot. I mean, it's going to take a lot shorter if I'm not looking up demons. So I could have had a lot more done if I didn't get caught up in that whole demon thing. But that's how my mind works. So, but actually, where are we? We're at 53 minutes. This thing is heating up. Yeah. So yes, it will take a while. But not really. I mean, I'm not going to do this on every stream. I'm going to do it in between. So I'll get more of this done. I do this stuff in between other things. This week I just haven't had a chance to work on it. But so it's not going to be like every stream is an hour of me doing this. I will do the stained glass probably on the stream. I'll do certain elements that I think will be more visually interesting. But yeah, I'm going to do them all. Yeah. That's how I've always done it. What about color? Oh yeah, no, I'll color it. It'll get color. But you can see the color's a lot easier because it's basically just, what is that, like 3 shades of orange. That's not hard. The coloring part is easy. No, once the stuff's in there, it's going to be a lot easier. Wow. Well, I'm glad you're looking this stuff up. Mazapegu. That's a good name. I like the Mazapegu. That's good. But anyway, I don't know which way is up on this thing. I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? So, yes, I'll keep going on this. By the time you see this next, it will be probably far more filled in, if not done, and then it might be the color and the But once this one is done, Heroes, to your question about, you know, how to short, I will use this same image and do it as all of the, you know, I'll just replicate it behind this one. I will not draw 6 or 7 of those. I will take that one and I will then duplicate it and make it bigger or smaller version. So then it will be a lot easier. But the initial one, this one, and here's why. Here's another reason. The other reason I'm going to draw this is in case at some point I want to use this for something else. I want one that's basically fully done. Because sometimes I've found uses for things I draw in one image, I'll use for something else. I could literally just make a shirt with a giant citrus on it or something, or put like words in it or something like that. So I'd rather have, because this is, let's see, this is, what's the size? It's 12 by 12, I think. Yeah, this is 1 foot by 1 foot. That's the actual dimensions of this. So this is print size. So I may have a use for this. So it's not a waste of time because I may think of a use for it with something else. So that's why I tend to do it with that much detail, because somewhere down the line I might think of something else to do with it that just features this. And instead of having to draw it again for that, I can just use this. So there's reasons to do it. But a lot of it is just my own mental kind of inability to do things the easy way. To really answer the question. So, yeah. Who do you think will win Game of the Year, Silksong or Expedition 33? I'm going to bet Expedition 33. That's just my gut feeling. I have nothing to back that up. I have no insider info. But I think Expedition 33, because it kind of came out of nowhere and really surprised people. I mean, Silksong, listen, it could go either way. I don't think anybody would be upset by whoever wins out of those two. But my gut tells me that Expedition 33 is going to be the one. That's just a feeling. There was just a lot of really kind of positive reception. There was also another game that had come out around the same time that people were really unhappy with. That was a bigger publisher game, and then this one came out and kind of made it look stupid. So I think there's going to be an element of that where people want to reward a game that makes these bigger publishers who are just churning out garbage look bad. So, yeah. Well, I hope it's good. I picked up Metal Gear Solid Delta. So when I'm done with Death Stranding 2, I'll be on to that, and that's going to take up a lot of my time. I've already got 100 plus hours into Death Stranding 2, and I just crossed the 75% mark, and I'm still going to complete all of it. So I'm going to be playing that for a while, but then it's going to be Metal Gear, because I want me some Metal Gear. I miss it. I love 3. By all accounts, they didn't change anything, so I am looking forward to it. So anyway, that's it. I'm going to bring this stream to a close for this evening. Thank you for hanging out, coming by. Sorry about the mic dying. Sorry about the fact that I don't catch people up on what I'm talking about. I will try to do better at that. So, all right, Heroes Forever. Well, actually, Heroes, before you go, who do you think's going to win? Is it going to be Silksong or is it going to be Expedition? What do you think? I should ask you. You asked me. You know what I think. What do you think? We will finish off on your answer. What do you think? While you're thinking about it, if you have to think about it, I'll remind people, go support a creator whose work you enjoy. Silksong, okay? Well, there you go. So, all right, Artificial, if you're still here, you can break the tie. What do you think? You can be the tiebreaker. I don't care. I have no ego in this. I'm saying Expedition. Hero says Silksong. Artificial says, assuming Artificial is still here, he may have left. If he did, that's fine. Then it's a tie. I'll remind people, go support a creator that you like in any way you can. Monetization, sharing their work, telling them you appreciate them. Anything that you can do will be appreciated, and a lot of creators need whatever support you can give. So I always want to make sure I say that at the end of the thing. I'm guessing Artificial has bailed. So we're splitting on this one, Heroes. We'll find out. Like I said, I would not be upset if Silksong wins. That's fine. I don't have any particular loyalty one way or another. I just have this gut feeling about it. Oh, here we go. I think it's 50-50. I agree. So I guess we're going to find out. We'll find out at some point. Until then, thanks for hanging out for a while as I babble and don't notice my mic's off and wander off into folklore of different countries. Hey, I'm with you on that one, Heroes. I really don't care. As long as the games are good and people enjoy playing them, I really don't think the awards mean anything. Just like most awards, they mean nothing. All that should matter to anybody is if they have a game that they enjoy, like art, like music, like film, like anything. If you have a good time with it, who cares what awards it gets? Who cares what anybody else in the world says about it? If it works for you, it works for you. And that's what matters. And that's a good note to end on. So thanks for being here. And until next time, take care.